And Randy, like you're killing me with these photos. Like you're killing me. So it's obvious that you have a large circle, as we saw with your Christmas photo, right? And most recently, just a night out with the boys.
Yeah.
So do you think that this does more damage than good by sharing these photos? Let me just follow up with that. What's your intention when you're sharing these photos?
That's a good starting point, Jason, is the intention. And let me frame it this way. I know that there is a great number of people in this country who do not share the government's narrative and the public health narrative that we should be fearful and that we should be living in isolation and confinement and that we should be living without freedoms or constitutional protections and that this COVID is the greatest threat to mankind. There's a great many people that recognize the evidence doesn't support that narrative, right? But we also understand this, that there are many people, doctors, police, politicians by the many, um, academics, teachers, who would like to speak out against this, but they're fearful of being marginalized at their work, or they're fearful of actually losing their job, or being kicked out of caucuses, and they're fearful of the slaying and the public shaming that the mainstream media and the trolls on social media will come at you. So we're not getting a healthy debate. We're actually suffocating and preventing dissenting views from being heard. And that's what those pictures demonstrate, is what everybody else is doing, Jason, what so many people are doing. And I want them to have the courage to do similar and say, no, this is a free country, and I have the freedom to express myself. I have the freedom to meet with my friends and my loved ones, and I'm also free to accept the judgment and the public shaming, because I grew up in a time when we knew sticks and stones may break my bones, Jason, but names are never going to hurt me. So we need to have a healthy debate, and we can't do that unless we are confident in ourselves and are free to express ourselves.
Okay, so one of the follow-up questions I was going to ask was, do you understand the anger? And you've expressed that you know why there's anger, because you just have a different view than would be considered the norm or conventional. But I will ask this, are you not afraid that these photos give them, the powers that be, more firepower? For instance, just the optics, the perception that they're going to use this as an example to personify that there's obviously private gatherings going on. And we hear these numbers all the time in regards to 50% of people gathered over Christmas, 30% of people gathered over Christmas, just these made up numbers. I mean, because no one's calling them other than you, Randy, to let them know where you're at, right? No one else is doing that. So I think what they do is that they're taking situations like this, and now these become the beacons as to the private gatherings and things of that nature. Do you feel differently?
Well, we know that's all bullshit. Okay,
Right.
and let's call it for what it is.
Okay.
For 11 months or 10 months, I've been quite public and vocal about my opposition. I have attended multiple protests and gatherings, and I've shook hands and hugged and I've done all these things over the last year. And I still don't know a single person who has a single symptom from COVID. Okay. Now, that's not to say it doesn't exist.
Right.
But let's recognize that the people who are at risk from COVID are people who are very elderly, who are very frail, and who have significant other health illnesses that are in long-term care. These people are who are at risk from this respiratory virus. Not me, not you, not anybody who has come over to my house has ever reported back on any COVID symptoms or any positive cases. So I put that out. Just how bloody dangerous is this if I can do everything that I've done and still not have any symptoms, and nor anybody that I know.